Start video. Ask to start video. I'm not able to turn it on. Maybe
There you are.
There you are.
There we
Hey, Mark.
Okay.
George.
How you doing, Rich?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, I have everything ready to go, recording and live stream wise.
Okay, Sue, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Okay, we got John Piscopo just joined.
Here we are.
Ben. Hi, Stacy.
Hello.
All right, good deal. Got in.
Well,
Okay, let's get this thing going. We'll call this special meeting of the Thomaston WPCA to order at 7 o'clock. Okay, first item is the minutes of the March 17th meeting. And I had one question and one comment, one correction. I think it's page 2. Stacy, if you want to scroll down to that, under collection system. The correction is it should be Grand Street, not Grant Street. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. The question I had for Rich. Rich, you talked about the #1 pump deragger, the #1 pump power contactor failed. And they were sending in one with a higher amperage rating.
Correct.
How about the #2 contactor?
The new contactor that they're replacing covers both pumps. It's one it's 2 contactors in one unit.
No, it just does the one, but we have a contactor for #2 as well. So the one he replaced was just for pump 1.
Okay,
But one of them, the motor winding is a little weak in it, so it doesn't draw as much amps as the other one does. So that's why we're having a problem with the one, but he did give us the other set of contactors. So we do have another set for the higher amps in case we need it.
And that
Okay.
one does both pumps.
Well, there's 2 contactors per pump, so he replaced them on the one we had a problem with, and then he left us the extra set. But because that pump has the motor winding that's a little weak, it doesn't draw the same amperage, so it's not been an issue.
Gotcha.
okay, Bert, the 2 contactors, one forward, one reverse, is that it?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, anybody else have anything on the minutes for the March 17th meeting?
Not
I
me.
move we accept the minutes.
Second it.
As amended, John?
Wait a minute. Instead of just speaking out, probably should wait to be called on or announce who it is to start with.
Mr. Chairman, John Piscopo.
What was that?
I move we accept the minutes as amended.
Okay, who was saying that?
John Piscopo.
Okay, John, thank you. Mark, you want a second?
I'll second it. Mark Lasko.
Okay. Any
This
discussion
is
on the motion?
Commissioner Leduc. I've lost the audio.
Lost it from who? Okay. Ronnie, who'd you lose it from?
Was the last one to talk.
Ronnie, who did you lose it from? Ronnie, do you have it back?
No, can't hear a thing, Tom. All I'm getting is crackle.
I can
I'm
hear
here.
fine.
I'm hearing a crackle too, but I can hear people talk. Stacy, can you help?
She's got on mute.
Yeah, she's muted.
I've pushed my audio up to the maximum volume, but I'm getting nothing, and I was getting it clearly before.
Stacy's got herself muted. No, she's off now.
No, I just unmuted everybody.
Okay.
Can you hear us, Commissioner Leduc?
Must be an issue on her end, Stacy, I think.
I honestly am thinking it might be, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can hear her good.
We can hear her, she cannot hear us, apparently,
Yeah.
and had been hearing us okay, and now is not. Let's see. Here, let me text her.
I'm gonna try and get back into the meeting, go back to the beginning, because it worked when she was first here.
I'm communicating
Yeah.
via the chat.
Yeah, have her leave and then come back in?
Yeah, that's what I asked her if she could do.
Okay.
Veronica, can you,
Trying to log out, Stacy.
okay,
It's not letting me do it. I'm like frozen here.
okay. Excuse me.
I still see Veronica on the list of participants.
I'm gonna suggest that you connect via cell phone.
Okay, Stacy, should we tell her, should we remove her from the list?
It says, I'm getting the message she's no longer in the meeting, so she might have finally been able to get out.
Okay,
You still have quorum, I assume?
yes.
Oh, she's coming back in. Veronica, can you hear us now?
I got you now, I think.
Excellent.
Thank you. Okay, I think I'm good.
Okay. I think we ought to do the vote by roll call.
Okay,
Rather than everybody just shouting out. Okay, Veronica, how do you vote?
I have to abstain.
Okay. John,
Aye.
Mark,
Have to abstain.
Rich Chandon? Okay, I vote aye. Motion passes with 2 abstentions. Okay, next item is the minutes for the April 15th special meeting. Okay, I had no questions, comments on those minutes. Anybody else?
Nope.
John Piscopo here. I move we approve the minutes of the special meeting.
Thank you, John. Veronica, you want a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion on the motion? Okay, Veronica, how do you vote?
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Rich Chandon?
Abstain.
Okay, motion passes with 1 abstention. Okay, next item on the agenda is a request from Sue McDonald regarding sewer charges at 131 Main Street. That's the white commercial building that runs opposite the parking lot from the Congregational Church. Sue, could you want to tell us in there what happened?
Yeah, we had a water heater leak, and it flooded for a couple of days in the basement that we didn't know about, and it caused a lot of gallonage to go into the basement rather than into the sewer. So I was asking for some type of a rebate. The sewer charge is up over $1,000 more than last year, approximately. So I
Okay.
was wondering if there was anything the commission could do to reduce the sewer charge, since all the water did go into the basement and not into the septic system.
And then how did you get rid of it out of the basement?
We had to pump it out with a vacuum cleaner, suck it up with the vacuum
And then where was it discharged to?
onto the lawn.
I'm not aware of any lawn around that building.
In the front, there's a lawn, and then there's some stone in the back on the side of the building.
Okay, well, it seems to me that the floor is at grade level. How did you get it out?
Now, the floor is, a basement is probably below grade, so we had to carry the vacuum bucket up the stairs and get it out that way.
Okay, no, I meant the main floor was at grade level, so I didn't see how you
Right, but
could.
the water heaters are in the basement, which is, probably 6 to 8 feet below grade.
I understand. I actually didn't know there was a basement in that building.
Yes, sir.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Sue?
So this is Commissioner Leduc. I'm curious as to how much water you think that was.
Well, it ran over several days, so the bottom of the hot water heater was out, so we probably had, I don't know. The only thing I can tell you, I sent in copies of the water bills, I believe, and the water company did give us a credit on the water bill itself.
Okay, Ronnie, in that package is a copy of the letter from the water company,
Yeah,
probably way down at the end. They issued a credit of $349.88.
and is there a way to tell, Tom, how many gallons that represented?
That corresponding water bill, yeah, let me find the page. Has a unit charge on it of 0.007912. I think that's dollars per gallon. 138,000 gallons at that rate. They charge $1,091.86. That calculating from that, that equaled 44,221 gallons. That number of gallons at the sewer rate of $7.43 per thousand would equal $328.56. Everybody get that?
I got it. Thanks, Tom.
Yes, I have it.
Does anybody wish to make a motion?
I believe we should give her credit for the same number of gallons that the water company did.
I'll second that. I will make that John Piscopo, I'll make that in the form of a motion and
Okay, can we put a dollar amount in the motion?
I forgot what the water bill was, 340.
Well, the water bill was $349.88, but that number of gallons to the sewer would be $328.56.
I amend my motion to say 328.56.
Second. Rich Chandon.
Okay. Any further comments on the motion? Okay, roll call vote. Ronnie,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Rick?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate your help in the matter.
Okay, so take care.
Yep, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Next, consultant reports. Do we have anything, Rich?
No, Tom, everything that I'll cover under old business.
Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to move Unimetal up in the agenda to in front of Rich's status report?
Chandon, so move.
Mark Glasgow, second.
Okay, discussion? Okay, Ronnie, how do you vote?
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Rich Chandon,
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously. Let me look down the list now. Okay, George, you want to lead off, or you want to throw somebody else to the wolves, or what?
Yeah, did you know if Debbie's on?
I've not seen Debbie show up on here, no.
Pat, is he on?
Pat's here.
Pat. Can you hear me? Pat. He must be on mute, is he?
No, Pat's not
Oh.
muted.
I can see him. He's sitting there with a pink shirt on.
Yeah, he's there. Can you hear us? Pat. Oh, he's on the phone?
No. We have no audio from him.
But it says his audio's on though, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, said that.
We can't hear a thing, Pat.
Hey, George,
They're moving, but
You want to
George?
log out and log back, or alternatively, you can use the chat.
hey, George,
Yeah,
the last word I got from Debbie was she was out of the office for bereavement.
yeah. Her father passed away, but she emailed us today and said that, she was ready to go tonight. That's why I'm surprised she's not on. What was the last stuff that she sent, Tom? Did she send you the boron stuff?
Well, that came under somebody else with a report that we had already had.
Okay,
It had comments in there about the boron. It had comments about didn't agree with the land application of the sludge status,
yeah,
limits and so forth. We already had that from her before. That's the only thing I've gotten. I just knew about the bereavement because I got an auto response from her when I sent out the last email that you did reply to. And
yeah.
I have not heard anything from her since then. So if you could pass along our condolences, if she doesn't show up in this meeting, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where we left off. Is Pat there? Is he back on now, right?
Yeah, he's called in.
He called in?
He's on his phone.
Pat, can you hear us and can you communicate?
He can't hear us.
He can't hear, or no, he's not able.
Can he call in, Pat?
He's on his
Yeah.
ready, and he's still.
Hey,
Let's
Stacy,
see.
if we mute our mics, would it help him out?
I
Come
don't
in?
think so.
Are you able to now?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah.
We can hear you. We are getting a little reverberation, so I don't know if you want to turn off one thing or the other.
Turn off the other mic, I guess.
We're in
That
about
help?
6 hours.
Pat, was Debbie supposed to be on tonight?
I thought so. I just texted her.
Okay.
We're still getting a lot of repeat.
What about now?
Yeah, a little
Still
bit.
a little bit. I'm thinking maybe if you log out of the visual and just do the phone, if that's what's working for you.
Take it off speaker. Talk right into your phone.
That might also
Can you hear me now?
much
Yes.
better.
Yeah.
Okay. They still got the reverb.
Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing Debbie had when it came to the boron was she left it at the meeting that was there something else you wanted to go ahead and check in your FB system?
In our what system, Pat?
The
In
SP,
your system overall, because the results that she gave you ended up being there was no problem in many systems, and then other systems had slight issues. So the way she left it at our last meeting was that maybe potential future tests down the road.
Okay,
That's what I remember from that meeting.
Can you turn down the volume on your computer? I'm wondering if that's, we're hearing you on your computer through your phone.
Is that better?
I believe so.
Say it again?
Okay. That might have worked.
Yeah.
yeah,
Very good. Nice job, Stace.
What else was there, Pat?
No, the only thing at that point in time was you had that communication from Nick Zach, from I believe Joe back to Tom. It was the email to you, George, this past Saturday.
Did I answer your questions? You emailed me a couple of Saturdays ago, Tom?
yeah. Something just came up though, which is probably not gonna be real good news. Richard Burt noticed in our NPDES permit that DEEP needs to approve any non-sanitary sewer discharge into the system. So while there's an approved discharge from your existing SPDES system, we kind of feel that the NPDES system that you're proposing to discharge to the sewage treatment plant in some form actually represents a new discharge. So I think we're going to need a lot of information on what you propose to send from that. And we're probably going to need to get DEEP's buy-in. We tried to contact somebody in the municipal section to see if that was in fact the case. And we do not have a response back yet.
Well, I can't imagine they weren't going to have some kind of insight as to us coming into your system anyways, no?
Right, but if, just the fact that they put in that they need to approve it might put up a wall or two in between.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, but, I guess everybody has the same goal, and that is to get us off the river. So hopefully it would be reasonable communications.
Well, we're trying to help you do that, but I'm not sure that's a goal that we have. At least it's not one we would pick to start with, but we're still trying to help you do that. Okay, you guys working on an amended or a new application package to bring that into it and the type of treatment system and so forth?
Yeah, as it stands, the type of treatment system is going to be similar to what we have right now, which is going to be, conventional treatment overall with, either the type of settling systems we have right now or new parks and lamellas with a potential sand filter and things like that, upgraded controls. That's what we have. That's what we're moving forward with right now. We're in the process of a new permit application for the state in regards to, systems, and it would be the same thing that we'd have to present to yourself.
Okay, so basically we're on hold until you have something you can present for that?
Well, I think we still need to discuss, with all the work we've done to date, the volumes of the numbers that, we need some kind of a understanding so that we can go ahead and size the system accordingly. We have systems and methods in place. We just don't know the size restrictions that we're going to be under. We really need that to move that part of the project forward. So, we had talked about, we went for blue sky, which was our whole flow of the 110. and then we talked down to the 80, and then we talked, okay, ultimately we want to get to a 50 number, but maybe we could do that, ratcheted it over, 3 or 4 years, 80, 70, 60, 50, and then get to to that final number. But, we were hoping for some input from you folks, after having done the work with the consultant.
Time bond,
With Titan Bond, yes.
Well, I think we basically said that we would consider the 80 to start with and then ratchet down to the 50. But we just can't put a blanket gallons on it, Pat, without knowing what's going to be in those gallons.
Yeah, and we understand.
And how you're going to get to what's in those gallons. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not real thrilled with that system you put in already. There's been too many burps in there.
Yeah, see, that's not the system we're going to be using, Tom. So that system is staying as it is, and we're going to be doing our MPDS system is going to be the system that's going to be upgraded, and we're going to continue to have the 2 separate discharges out of that plant. The one that you have right now, plus what is now considered the MPDS. So that's
Okay.
what's going to be upgraded for, let's call it the electroplating portion of the business.
Okay.
So that additional water is not going through that system.
No, but I may have misunderstood, but I thought I heard a comment that it would be a system similar to what you already have for the SPDES system, as far as the neutralization, settling, and that.
But on a much grander scale. I mean, that one ends up being, small in comparison to the MPDS side of things.
Okay.
George, anything to add?
We would be looking at a total discharge from your facility to begin with of 80,000 gallons per day. Is that doable? Or are you not?
The number that go ahead, George.
that was Rich that was talking.
Okay. No, the number that we've been talking about all along is we have this one discharge, which is what's just going to your system right now. Then everything else we've always been talking about ends up being a separate number. Everything that Titan Bond did was basically looking at the discharge that was going to the MPDS, and we called that separately. So the 30 plus the other.
So now we're back up over 100,000 gallons a day.
Working our way down over the 5 years to the 50 out of the one and the 30 out of the other.
Well, I'm not sure we can wait 5 years, Pat.
3 years. We need something to work with, Tom, is what it comes down to. At least something to go ahead and throw a dart at to start the project. So all along, everything's always been we've been talking about everything associated with our water, our river discharge.
Hey, Tom, Rich.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom,
Yeah, Rick.
I think there were also a lot of things from that river discharge when Titan Bond looked at that there was nitrate problem. There was other problems besides the boron that really reduced them down to, realistically like 30,000 gallons per day at that 50, and when Titan Bond got that 50,000 to work with, that was just a number to come up with a number so we could do 50,000 with 50% of the load coming into the plant.
Yeah. If you go back and read that report again, and you look at every constituent they looked at, they ended up pulling out 4 constituents, I believe, that had a number that if you wanted to go ahead and do this, this constituent at the rate it's going at right now would have to flow out at 30,000 gallons. This one would have to flow out at 28,000 gallons. And the bulk of them, there was no limit on that number. So it ended up being, there was a chrome number, I think there was a selenium number, there was a barium number. I can't remember exactly what it is. I don't have it in front of me right now. But you're right for a couple of the elements, but it certainly was not the case across the board, or else we wouldn't have been as excited about it as we were. And so if we could reference that again, that could be helpful. And what we were going to do with a couple of those numbers, one of them even ended up being lead. And it basically said, based on the lead number that they had there, that they had picked up at one time in our numbers over the years, they said you wouldn't want to go ahead and discharge more than 18,000 gallons into your system a day. But that would be one of those ones we have to go back and pretty much say, we don't have lead in our system. We don't let it flow out at 0.02 parts per million. And that would have to be readdressed because it's certainly, we could not let lead stop us from flowing the volumes that we need. If we happen to be in the lead plating business, we get rid of it just to go ahead and be able to meet the requirements into your system. So I think we needed further discussion from the back of that report on the 4 elements.
Yes, I agree with that, Pat. I think I thought that's what was discussed, and that's what Debbie was going to do.
Well, we could attack it that way and go after those 4 numbers, pull tie and bond back into it. But again,
That was just my interpretation. It's really, up to the board. That was just something I just have to throw out there.
Sure, that was a big boulder you just threw, though. But here's the deal, Tom. We need to get on with it. So we need to attack it, as quickly as we can, so we could, get everybody happy to put us in a position to move this forward. So you got to tell us what it is you want.
If I could just interject that if somebody is unmuted in the background, we're hearing somebody else's conversation. So if you are unmuted, could you please mute if you're not speaking?
All right, Pat, to keep this moving.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Put together the package for 80,000 gallons per day from that discharge. And of the ones that were in the tie and bond report that would be a problem at even 50,000, tell us what you can meet on those parameters.
Okay.
At least then we'll have something to look at, a little bit more concrete.
Yep.
Because you're going to have to do basically a lot of that anyway, just to get the application up to speed.
Yes, sir.
And we'll keep after the state and see if we can get a concrete answer from them. If they just leave it in our ballpark, then that'd be great.
Okay. So once again, for me, so I can carry it over to Deb, clarify for me, what is it in your permit that they're asking for? They want some kind of control over?
It's in the boilerplate. What is it, Rich? Section 4?
Yes, section 4, it basically says any new non-domestic discharge has to be approved by DEEP, and I'm assuming it's the municipal DEEP, but I didn't look at those sections in statutes, but
yeah, you're probably right. Okay.
Rich, could you fax that to Pat in the morning
Sure. Yep.
or scan it and email it, whatever you want to do?
That's super. Thank you.
Okay, anything else, Pat? George?
No, I think that's good. Not for me, Pat handled that well.
Okay, so we'll jump on it with Deb tomorrow and get we're gonna try and keep some continual dialogue going, even if it ends up being email. Tom, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll just say, I know it's, I'll just reiterate what kind of Pat said. I mean, May 1st is right around the corner. We've got 12 months to get off the river. And so while the town may not be overly excited about taking some additional flow from us, I think it is our last and only option right now. So without severely handicapping the business, if we don't get any or don't get substantial, we are in trouble. So anything that the town can do to assist, we'll get information you need. Any timely decisions that can be made moving forward would help and instrumental in trying to make this thing happen as quickly as possible with understanding, meeting your concerns. So we appreciate all your help.
George, we'll keep on doing what we can.
Thank you. That's all we have.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as usual, you folks are welcome to stick around.
Appreciate that.
Okay, next on the
Everybody-
agenda.
Yeah.
What's that?
Everybody be safe out there, okay?
Okay, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, Rich, I think it's your turn next.
Okay, the treatment plant staff has been talking and thinking of different ways to stay safe while working during the COVID-19 virus outbreak. The process is running well. The UV system has been tested and we should be all set for the May 1st startup. The phosphorus system is up and running as of April 1st. We did experience some communication problems at the plant on 4/12 and 4/13, and S&E systems and controls needed to be called. South Santa Maria was able to connect remotely and correct the problem with help from the crew. That's it for the treatment plant.
Okay, Rich,
Yep.
just a suggestion. Why don't you stop in between each section so that if anybody has a question
Okay.
on that one, we don't get too far ahead.
Okay. Were there any questions on what I had said so far?
Oh, go ahead, Rich. Rich, you on there? Shandon?
I just coughed.
Oh, okay. Rich Tingle, one question. The phosphorus system, have you done any analyses yet? Are we meeting the limit?
Yes. Yep, we're
Okay.
doing well. We're right at the limit right now. And we're trying to use as little chemical as possible. So we're not trying to get the real low numbers like we did last year.
Okay. Okay, that's all I had there.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, pump stations?
Okay, pump stations, the Woodbridge Lane Pump Station upgrade and force main project bid opening was Tuesday, 4/21. Ty and Bond is reviewing the parent low bidder documents right now.
Okay, no, you finish the pump station.
Okay, I'll finish each section. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. 319, we replaced lower amp rated deragger contactors for pumps 1 and 2 at Electric Avenue Pump Station with 70 amp contactors for both units, and both units have been working fine.
Okay, do you now need to order a spare contactor?
No, we have a spare there. I believe. Bert, that's true, right?
Bert's muted.
Yeah, sorry. There's a lot of background noise here, so I wanted to keep it muted, but we do have one spare.
Okay,
Okay. That's it for pump stations.
okay. Anybody, any questions? Okay, Rich, collection system?
Collection systems on 4-2, the crew replaced a manhole frame and cover on Park Street in preparation of the road project in town. We have one more manhole to repair prior to milling and paving. On 4-13, we had heavy rain and a high level alarm at Woodbridge Lane Pump Station. With concerns of a possible backup, I was called in along with Assistant Manager Galpin and the on-call operator. Fortunately, it stopped raining shortly after arriving at the station, and levels in the wet well didn't get high enough to cause any problems. And
Okay,
that's
now
it.
what would have happened had it not stopped raining?
If it had not stopped raining, we popped the, there's clean outs that we have to take the cover off so it doesn't flood a house down on the house right next to the pump station. And that's where we're putting in that check valve when we upgrade the pump system. So this should not happen. If they're ever, hopefully a new pump station the pumps are bigger and that won't be a problem. But if it is, we're going to have a check valve on our property that won't let that back up into that house anymore.
Okay,
And that's it for collection. And correspondence. Just received a letter from Connecticut Deep regarding the final payment from the Clean Water Fund regarding the phosphorus upgrade. The town finance director is working on closing out that project.
Stacy, could you put that up, please? Thank you. So from the Clean Water Fund, we're getting 176,000 plus. Is that correct?
I can't really see that right there. That sounds about right, Tom. I'm not,
Yes. Well, it's in the letter. It says 176, 926, 97.
yes, yep.
Okay, okay. Okay, any other correspondence?
No other correspondence.
Okay, on to old business. Or does anybody else have any correspondence? Okay, old business, Unimetal, we covered capital improvement.
Earlier. Capital improvements. Bert and I have been talking with S&E Systems, and the computer system is going to need to be upgraded in about 3 to 5 years. So Sal Samaria is going to be throw a budgetary figure estimate together, but I'm going to start including that on a capital, going out 3 to 5 years to start putting that in, getting some money saved in the capital for that. It's going to be a major upgrade this time because we don't think the computers are going to be compatible with the new Illusion system. So it's going to be everything, computers, new software. It's going to be quite an upgrade. But I'll have more on that in a few, in another month or so. Sal is down, I think it's South Carolina still. And he's, when he gets back, he's going to try to put just a rough budgetary number together. So we'll have an idea what to start putting away in capital for that.
Okay.
Okay, the FOG program, Clocktown Brewery, I've been in touch with them and they plan on installing an automatic grease recovery unit for they are going to do some cooking there. So they're all right on board with that. List of equipment, projects needed. I have nothing at this time. The
Okay.
phosphorus update. As-built drawings have been completed and we received 3 copies and an electronic copy on a travel drive. And that project is pretty much closed out on, on the contractor and the engineer.
Okay,
Renewable energy, I don't have anything new.
okay, Ed forwarded a contact to me for a solar system, again, on the Envirite landfill. They wanted to know what some of our requirements would be and how much, kind of a crazy question, asked how much they were gonna make from that system. So I told him, I said, I'm not gonna tell you how much you can make. You gotta put the stuff together and come back with a proposal. All of the things that I mentioned, like no liability for the town, preferring to have a level cost as opposed to one that escalates over time. No responsibility if their system goes down. They have to pay us, reimburse us for increased costs if their system goes down and we have to buy it off the grid. Just a list of a half a dozen things. And the last thing I got from them was, we agree to all those. So I guess the next thing I have to do is go back and say, put together a contract and then we'll review it. I did ask Bill Guerrera for insurance requirements. I don't have them yet. Not really anxious to start this all over again, but I guess we're gonna have to. That's it on that. Black Rock State Park, I don't have anything new. I sent them an email because they wanted to know what we were doing since they sent the plans in. And I said, well, you guys haven't been in a meeting. We don't know what's going on. I did send them an email saying that we needed to have the Part A application signed. If they attended the meeting and the WPCA agreed to accept the flow, that I would sign the Part A application. And I did mention to them that they would have to agree to a connection charge that, although we didn't have the exact number, it might be in the range of $200,000. And maybe that's scaring them away. I'm not sure. But I have not heard anything back other than a very basic reply that thanks for your response. I will pass this information on to the superiors and the design team. That's it for that.
New business. I have nothing.
I have nothing. Anybody else have any new business?
Nope.
Yeah, budget user fee review.
Black Rock State Park.
Yeah, what?
Black Rock State Park.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tom just talked about that.
Okay,
Maybe you didn't hear it.
all right.
Well, Rich, if we lost you for a little while, basically I sent them an update from where we were, since they had not been at at a couple of meetings. The last thing we received from them was some plans, some drawings. They needed to come to a meeting and basically with a Part A application and seek approval for the gallons per day. And then they would have to pay our consultant to review the design to see if they met our requirements. And all I got back was an email that said, okay, thank you, and I will pass this on and we'll get back to you, but they haven't done so yet. One thing I did not mention was that I did send an email to the superintendent of water and sewer in Watertown to see if they felt there was any problems or with the state tying into the Black Rock State Park, tying into our treatment plant, and was there anything they needed from us to put that in place? I don't have an answer from that yet either.
Hey, Tom, Rich here. I did you asked me to find out from Ty and Bond what that might cost to review the plans. And it was between $2,500 and $3,000. You know, if they did it by the hour or whatever, it could be less, but it depends on, you know, if they have to review it twice, come to a meeting. So that was the range.
Okay. Well, it's too bad they didn't show up. We could have passed that on to them.
Yep.
Okay, Rich Shandon, you okay? Did you hear all that?
Thank you. Yes, I did.
Okay, one thing you might have missed was I did pass along the possibility of a connection charge being in the range of $200,000 based on the number of units that they are proposing. So I don't know if that scared them off or not, but I have not heard anything. Okay, anybody have any new business? Okay, draft budget.
Okay. Well, I was going to go with the current budget first, but
Well, okay, you brought up draft, so okay.
okay.
Go back to you want to do the revenue and expenditures then?
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
And that looks good overall to date. You know, it's going to be close. We've used a lot, you guys will probably notice that from last month's budget, there was quite a bit of increase in the budget that we've used. And a lot of that, it was $13,000 for the pack delivery that we had to get for the phosphorus, the chemical we use for the phosphorus removal. So that's why that 432 kind of dwindled real quickly.
yeah, that's okay. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and I think there's other areas. I think it's going to be close. And then now with the draft budget.
Rich, before you go on to the draft budget, this is Ronnie.
Yeah.
Is there any way that it'd be possible for us to find out how that vote we took a couple of weeks ago about delaying people's paying? I think we had said there were 17% of people that were delinquent. And is there any way to find out if any of those contacted us to make arrangements so that we have an idea of what impact that had?
I haven't heard of anyone contacting us yet. There's been a couple payments coming in.
Okay.
But typically, Terry's supposed to be back May 4th.
Okay.
That's when we do lien to notice to lien, and that starts bringing in a lot of people start paying again once that happens.
Right, but we'll be delaying that based on our vote from before, I would think.
No, Ronnie, there's no delay.
Okay.
What the town voted to do, and we had to go along with it, and we did go along with it, was to sign on with a reduced interest rate on delinquent payments for 3 months.
Right, right. But only for people who are making payments, correct?
They have to make a payment in that month in order to get a reduced interest rate in that month. Yep.
So I'm not in any hurry for this, but I think it would be good for us to try to find out how effective that decision was in helping people out. We don't need to know that today, tomorrow, or next week, but I think it will give us some insight into whether that was a viable or a useful thing for us to have done. We may
Okay.
not be able to even get that information till the 3 months are up.
Yeah, or possibly month by month. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just think it's something for us to keep in mind that we did make that adjustment, and it would be important to see, was it an effective strategy or was it not?
I agree.
That's all I got.
Okay, we'll have to back up to the minutes of the April 15th meeting for that discussion, because this is a special meeting.
This one is tonight?
Yes, it is. Because it's not on the original posted date.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever we need to do to make it work, I just crossed my mind when we talked about budget.
Yeah. How about if somebody makes a motion to go back to that item on the agenda for that discussion?
Well, I can make that motion to go back to that item on the agenda.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second, Piscopo.
Okay, all in favor? Let's do the roll call. Ronnie,
Aye?
John,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Rich Chandon.
Aye.
Okay, so I hope that covers it legally.
Okay. Didn't mean to put a fly in the ointment.
Yeah, it's okay. Probably won't be the last time we throw one in there.
Probably not.
Okay, Rich, are we okay with the current budget?
Yes, yeah,
Anything else
we're good
you
with
want to
that.
mention on it?
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
Yes, I have a quick question, John Piscopo. Hey, Rich, you mentioned that there's going to be a big expense on the phosphorus, the packing, buying the new equipment for it. Will the Clean Water Act offset that? The money we're going to be getting in from the Clean Water Fund?
You know, I didn't hear the first part of that question, John. Could you just repeat that, please?
When you were going over the budget, you mentioned that we had to make an expenditure for the new phosphorus upgrade, and you called it packing. I imagine it's an expenditure we have to make to get the chemicals to treat the phosphorus.
Correct. We're all, the Clean Water Fund is, that's all, they paid for some chemical at the beginning of the process to try to make sure it all worked. We're on our own now for that 13,000.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Okay, the only thing on the revenue and expenditures, I think we're all set. And then I just put together that a draft budget for the 2020-2021 year. So far, it's still a little early, but it looks like it looks good. It looks like we're gonna, have maybe. It doesn't look like we're gonna have to increase it right now, anyways. We had a big savings in the pension pension line item, 12,000 there, which really offset some of the wages and the insurance costs. So I think that's good news, because I'm a little concerned with the way that, hopefully we're going to, with this COVID-19, we're not going to see our usage decline, in the next couple months here, Because we normally collect that close to that. Usually we've been collecting 98% of the budget at least. So, and we have a ways to go before we get there.
Okay.
That's it for the budget, draft budget. Any questions?
No, I'm all set. Entertain a motion to go into executive session, inviting Rich, Bert, and Stacy to attend.
So moved. John Piscopo.
Rich
Thank you,
Chan,
John. Rich, you second?
Yes.
Okay. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Ronnie,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Mark,
Aye.
Rich.
aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously at 8:05.